Okay. Happy Friday, second graders. All right, we are on our last session, session 5 on page 661 and 662, and then you will have your quiz. So we are, again, just working with reading and making line plots. I think you got this. You guys are so smart. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly, but we know, we're confident that you have it. So here we go.
Whoops. All right, so number 1 says, use the page of shells your teacher gives you. Measure the length of each shell in inches. Write the lengths in the table. So we're just going to go ahead and give you the lengths of each shell, okay?
Yep.
All right, Mrs. Walker, give me those links and I'll write them.
For A is 3 inches. B is 2 inches. C is 4 inches. D is 2 inches. E is 7 inches. F is 2 inches. And G is 3 inches.
All right, so we have written the links inside the table. That's all we had to do for this problem. Let's move on.
Okay, so now we're going to make it, and it's already there for us. So let's start with the title. What do you think the title is going to be, Mrs. Croft?
Shells.
Perfect. That's what we're measuring, right? Is the shells.
Keep it simple. What was the unit of measurement?
So the unit of measurement was inches this time.
Okay. And if we go back to our table, our smallest shell was 2, and our largest shell was 7.
Yep.
Oops, I skipped one, sorry. Okay, so 2, and then 7, and then you just fill them in, right? 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, you want to tell me how many of each?
Sure. So there are 3 of them that have 2s. 2 of them that has 3s. 1 is a 4-inch. And 1 is a 7-inch. So there were none that were 5 or 6 inches.
Okay, that was pretty simple.
Yep. So now let's answer some questions.
So the length of the longest shell is what?
7.
7. So I'm going to put a 7. The length of the shortest shell is 2. Now, the most shells have a length of, so we're going to look for the most X's, right?
Yep. The most X's.
Ooh, and it just so happens that the most X's are on 2. So the most common size of shells this time is 2.
Yes, very good.
Okay. Number 5 says 2 more shells are each 4 inches long. Explain how the line plot would change if the lengths of these shells were added to the line plot. So let's go ahead and just add them, okay? Makes it easy. So we're coming over here. They said 2 more. 1, 2. So what did we do? We had to add 2 more X's to the number 4. And now the most common lengths are 2 and 4 because they both have 3, right?
Yep.
Is that how it changed? That's all it did, right? It just changed
really,
like that?
it was just that we changed the X's. Yeah, instead of 1 X, there's now 3 X's. Yeah.
So if we wrote that, we would just say, instead of 1 X on the 4, the 4, there are now 3 X's. Yep. And then if you were just using the information from the data, you would also be able to say that also changed the most common, right? Kind of. Okay. Why does the line plot start at 2 instead of 0?
Again, we've talked about this. Why? There were no shells that were 0, right? So we have to always start with the smallest number.
With the smallest number.
Yep.
Which was 2. Okay. Number 6 says, why are 5 and 6 included on the line plot? So if we go back and look, we have 5 and 6 on the line plot, no X's, but why do we have to include them? Well, we've talked about this too, haven't we? We include them because they're part of the numbers and we have to count in order from the smallest number to the largest number. So how would you write that in words, Mrs. Walker?
So we included them because
I like your because. We included them because
the number line has to start with the smallest number and continue with all the numbers until getting to the largest number or biggest number. Yep, same thing.
all right.
We don't skip numbers.
Okay, number 7. How would you use the line plot to find how many shells there are of each length?
What do you have to do? You just have to count the what?
The x's.
Yes.
You just have to, excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Count the x's.
Yep.
Okay. Last one.
How do you know that the correct number of x's are shown on the line plot?
Ooh, you could go back and count how many shells there were, right?
Right. We just go back and count them.
That's how we check our work. We talked about that.
Yep.
Okay, so that's it for this. Let's go ahead and take a look at our quiz today.
Yep.
Okay, so here is our quiz. We will have 2 trues and 2 falses.
Yep.
For number 2, there is just one answer. For number 3, you need to use that data to fill in the blanks. Easy
Yep.
peasy.
Yep.
Number 4, you're going to use this data over here to make the line plot, but the title and the unit of measurement are already written for you. This is easy. You have got this.
Easy.
I know.
Awesome. All right.
Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.